Hello, you're welcome to this video. You might have listened about processors. The processor is an important part of a computer. In this video, I'll discuss on processors. Let's get started. What is processor? The full form of processor is the Central Processing Unit or CPU. It is one of the main hardware of a computer, mobile, and many more devices. The processor is a self-contained and programmable mathematical engine. The processor manages different operations of a computer and edits operations. The processor retrieves and executes instructions. A processor is mainly a chip that receives them and processes them by calculation. Then the processor instructs the necessary hardware and software to work. So the main work of processor is to provide output. Now processors can count trillions together. How fast the processor will work depends on the type of the processor. If it is advanced, it will work fastly. How does the processor work? I have told you before that how does processor works. Now I will discuss it deeply. Every processor works in 3 steps: fetch, decode, and execute. Fetch: when data and information provided by the user gather temporarily in the memory. The processor core collects them. This is fetching. Decode: when the processor collects data and information, the processor processes them by calculation. In this step, processor figures out what to do next to provide output and how to do it. Execute: in this process, the processor writes the decoded instructions in the CPU register. Then the instructions go to the necessary hardware and software to work. As a result, we get the output. Processor manufacturer companies. Intel and AMD are popular processors for computers. Most smartphone companies use ARM processors in their smartphones. Qualcomm and MediaTek are also popular for smartphones. What is processor core? The processor core is the basic computing unit of the CPU. The processor core mainly indicates the capacity of the processor. If there is a single core in the processor, it means it's just a single CPU. The dual-core processor is more powerful than a single-core processor for single integrated circuits with 2 or more processing units. There are also other types of processor cores. In quad-core, there are 4 cores. In hexa-core processor, there are 6 cores. In octa-core processor, there are 8 cores. In deca-core processor, there are 10 cores. The speed of the processor depends on the cores. The processor with more cores can perform works faster. Processor clock speed. The computer's processor clock speed determines how quickly the processor works per second. It is measured by the speed at which the microprocessor executes instructions. It is measured in 2 ways. Number 1, MHz or megahertz measures 1 million cycles per second. Number 2, GHz or gigahertz, which measures 1000 million cycles per second. A processor's clock speed also depends on the other components of a computer like RAM, hard drive, motherboard, etc. It also depends on the core of the processor. Hope you have enjoyed this video. You can like this video and subscribe to this channel. You can also visit our blog site. The link to the site is given in the description below. You can also like our Facebook page and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Hope to have a nice and good day. See you in the next video. Goodbye for now.